Hey, what's up guys? We're in my kitchen here. It's a good thing I started these videos early because I can actually kind of just like take you guys through my day and explain each part as I go through it. So anyways, I decided on a name for this series of videos, and I'm gonna call this Optimizing for Health. All right. And the reason I want to call it this, I don't know if it's even, this, I think it's pointing too high. The reason why I want to call it for that is because if you guys been in the journey of growing your business and stuff, you'd recognize that as we're getting to get traction, a lot of times we optimize everything to have higher results in the business, right? So even though my diet wasn't that bad before, like I was eating mostly the same stuff every day, chicken, eggs, rice, but it was almost like I'm ignoring, like I'm avoiding bad foods. Like it's not, I'm not, eating like freaking McDonald's and shit. So I'm avoiding bad foods, right? So in that essence, it's healthy, but it's not like I'm optimizing it for the best nutrition I can possibly get, because that takes time, that takes energy and time that I'm not willing to spend every single day in the kitchen. Whereas I could, if I could just make all the food in on Sunday, which I used to. I make all my chicken and everything on Sunday. I take like an hour and a half to make that thing, and then boom, for the rest of the week, I just heat that and eat that. Right? That's how I used to do it. Well, now everything is completely different. I spend at least 2 hours per day cooking. So every day's meal, I cook it in the same day. And right before I'm about to make breakfast right here, just wanted to keep it and show you guys. This thing is burning my eyes, so I'm putting this here. Is a bunch of the stuff I use for soup, right? It's like an AIP soup. AIP stands for autoimmune disease, and oh wait, it's called the autoimmune protocol actually. And then there's Edos. That's just so I can actually feel like I'm getting a little filled up. So, anyways, I just wanted to give that intro. Basically, right now is what I would consider is hardcore optimizing for health, meaning if it means takes 2 to 3 hours to do your cooking for the day, that's what I do. Right, my morning till early afternoon is spent relaxing and making the food I'm going to be eating for the day, taking my time, not trying to be efficient, extra crazy or anything, just being very conscious. In fact, the one way to do it, where I was learning from when I was spending my time upstate, is just being very conscious while I'm doing this whole ritual, if you want, if you will. Basically having the intention that the food that I'm grateful for to eat is that I'm basically making right now, that's going to heal me. So anyways, having that said, wanted to give you guys a little breakdown of the diet. And first of all, with AIP, this is probably the biggest change in lifestyle when you have a condition like this, is your diet. So let's start with the base level. Okay, of course you can't eat junk food. That's goes without saying. Alcohol, all that kind of stuff is obviously out of the window. Any kind of drugs whatsoever. And when I say drugs, not just recreational, any kind of drugs, right? Like you don't want to take much, cough medicine, antibiotics of any kind, etc. All that shit is out. That's first. Secondly, let's see, no milk, no eggs, no grains. So no rice, no bread, no pasta, anything like that. No grains at all of any kind, and no bread because of no gluten. I mean, for two reasons. I used to not eat that much bread before because I used to I saw that there was some effect of not eating gluten, like more clarity in the head. But right now I can't eat it because bread is made out of grains. So AAP has double and triple layers of things that you really have to be careful about, and it kind of really makes your diet in a way where it's not about like what not to eat. It's mainly you just keep in the fridge of the things you do eat, because everything that I am allowed to eat in the diet fits in the fridge at one time. Pretty much looks mostly green. So in that way, it's a pretty strict diet. If I don't want to get so much into it, there's probably like hundreds of videos of like what can recipes and stuff like you can make. Basically, my main thing is that it's more in the lifestyle change in terms of like, you know, taking this time. Like I said, it takes usually around 2 hours, 2.5 hours to prepare breakfast. I mean, usually my girlfriend helps me with this, but Saturday she's sleeping in. And basically, you know, cut everything up, make the soup, let it really go. I use like bone broth a lot, for a lot of the stuff I eat, soups, and I mean mostly the soup. But you know, anytime I'm also eating some kind of like snack in the evening, which is basically the leftover soup, with maybe a bit more salt or something, and you know, planning to actually make my broth from now on, which you know, there's a few things that's on my list which I'm going to be starting soon. But basically, wanted to just give you guys an idea of like how this looks like. And over the things that I've been doing, my diet has had the most significant improvement. Like, till the point I would say May, June, it started to get really bad, my conditions, to the point where, like, you know, I couldn't even like function. I couldn't even go outside. I'd be like always having insane levels of like body movement and loss of balance and stuff like that. And even if I talked a little bit, my pressure would be so much. As soon as I took grains and these stuff out, and honestly, I don't know exactly what was causing it, but as soon as I changed my diet, right, within about a week, it started to improve. And it was, you know, insane to me, because I thought, you know, diet change would never have that kind of effect, especially when I wasn't eating anything that bad, you know, just eating rice, eggs, chicken. But it did. So super grateful for that. And you know, this is basically one of my main things right now, what I focus on. I get fresh food from the farmers market every Saturday. We're gonna go there in like probably 1 or 2 hours from now to get the groceries for the week and get everything fresh. Lettuce and everything I get is like actually grown in hydroponic, I don't know, grown in like water type like things where they don't put pesticides and stuff like that. So that's like, all right, so that's like breakfast. All right, where are we at? 7 minutes. Should probably thought this video out a bit, because I haven't made videos in a while, and this topic is kind of all over the place because I've already been into the swirl of it for some time. All right, but let's go forward. What do I eat for lunch? So I don't eat any more meat like chicken and beef, but I eat only fish, right? So it's like in terms of the labels, because there's like all kinds of labels, especially in you know, if you're gonna search in Google, right? Like paleo, AIP. AIP is a subsection of paleo with more restrictions, which is what I'm following. But then I don't also eat meat like beef and chicken and stuff, right? So it's like a pescatarian AIP. That's what I'm going with right now. So basically for lunch and dinner, my source of meat is salmon every single day. And it's because any other kind of fish I realize I don't really like, other than shrimp. Cod and other stuff, sardines I couldn't stand. We brought it and we were doing it for like 3 days. I was like, oh my god, I tapped out. Like the whole house was smelling like my clothes. I felt like I was a fish. So I had to stop that stuff. But salmon tastes pretty good. I can still cook it with like, you know, some good salt, herbs, and stuff like that. I should probably make a video when I'm like making that in the afternoon. But yeah, thing about salmon is not cheap. You have to get wild caught, because you can't get like normal farm-raised salmon. So it's about like $25 per pound. So you know, my grocery bill did go up for what I eat for a living, but definitely, you know, no complaints on that. But yeah, anyways, after that, so I eat mostly salmon, and oh yeah, how could I forget my source of carbs, right? Because I used to eat a bunch of rice every single day, right? Lunch, dinner, stuff like that. In the morning, I used to eat pasta. So the thing that's taking, you know, filling for that is sweet potatoes. A lot of sweet potatoes. So I eat sweet potatoes every single day. In fact, it's one of the first things I do when I wake up in the morning, before I even like brush my teeth and stuff. I stumble over here, I get 3 to 4 sweet potatoes, and I put them in foils, just like that, and then I just put them into the bake, right? I can stick them in there, put a timer for like an hour at 450, and then that rings, and that basically, when it rings, it becomes like an alarm for my girlfriend. So it works out in that way. But So that's pretty much my entire diet in a nutshell as of right now. We've been testing with a few things. So I'm gonna be, updating some videos on like what I changed, what I put into it. Like I said, I'm actually planning to start growing a lot more stuff. Like I want to start, I mean, not just growing, but making a lot of the stuff that's from scratch. Like right here, my breakfast, lunch, and stuff is already from scratch, meaning like there's not much that comes in packaged, right? But this thing is packaged, right? So I want to replace that soon with a way where I can maybe just buy the bones and make the broth and just put it overnight and have it boiling and then be ready by morning, so I can have the broth like that. I also want to be starting to grow some plants like broccoli sprouts and stuff like that. It's getting to a point where we're actually considering moving, because this kitchen right now is tiny. Like if you see right here, like my body right here, it's like there's only barely any space for another one. Like if two people are cutting stuff at the same time, we're always having like like kind of like taking turns. She does that, I have to do something here. Then like when basically two people can't fit in this thing. So we've been actually considering moving somewhere, possibly soon, very soon, to go where there's a bigger kitchen, right? And really like optimize the entire environment that I live in for health. You'll see this as a common theme coming up, right? Even I would consider getting rid of my desk, right? Like my desk with my setting there is all kind of like, basically optimized for work, right? It's right next to my bed. As soon as I wake up, all right, I get to work. But I want to move that away, so my work is going to be stationary somewhere else, even in a separate room if I can, like a little office room. That'd be awesome. Or maybe like just a corner of the living room or something, where I have a little place where I can just go sit down and maybe whatever I need to do and do it, and then I'm done for the day, right? It's going to be like more cornerized, whereas stuff I'm growing and eating and the things I want to do, and maybe a hammock, indoor hammock, because right now it's outside. Indoor, winter's coming, so I need to have it like inside. All that kind of stuff should be inside and more easily welcoming, right? Yoga mat right now, for example, is always folded and kept in the thing, so I barely do it. But if the mat was always laid out and like welcoming me every time at a certain time each, like at the same time every day, it'll be easier for me to do that, right? So anyways, I'll end this video here. I know it's kind of like all over the place. I'll try to think the next one a little bit more through, but basically want to just give an overview of this whole idea about optimizing and leveraging everything around you and your surroundings and everything, and your time and resources to get more healthy, and as well as give you guys some update on exactly what the hell I eat, which is going to be changing, and I'm going to be adding and taking out stuff in the coming weeks and months. All right, peace.